Hopefully you will have already watched the setup video and you will have set up your venues accordingly. With their names, all of the type information address, obviously the maps, the availability, the minimum and maximum booking slots available, and also the settings on the public website. So whether or not you set them to be an inquiry, to provisional or to confirmed, and whether or not you accept those online payments. Summarising your cancellation policy and obviously those fees and additional services. So let's take a look at the actual bookings page itself. So I'm going to come down to the bookings page here on the left hand side. Your unique booking link is here, which you can have copied onto your council website, and provided you've added the URL for your privacy policy and your terms and condition links, as well as sharing those inquiry details for your contact details, you'll be able to see those when we take a look at the bookings page. So here's my example with my council name, my shared contact details, obviously the venues that I have available, and scrolling to the bottom, that terms and conditions policy and also that privacy policy link is there as well. So now let's take a look at how we're actually going to book those venues. So I'm going to start with an inquiry first, which I have set up for my Dayworth Hall. Clicking on to details, we can see that because I've chosen for it to be an inquiry, it's now asking me if I want to make an inquiry. Again, all of that information is being displayed from how I've set up the system with that view, the obviously map with the directions, the additional services, the calendar at the bottom there as well. There's any extra information that you've uploaded and that video before moving on to other venues if you have them. So I'm going to make an inquiry. So I'm just going to put in any details that you have as far as those opening and closing venues that you've got that are available. Any number of attendees you can obviously choose in there as well. Clicking on to next, select any of the additional services. You can see the prices starting to go up, and then obviously adding in your contact details. If you've got customer codes, you can apply those. You must click on to accept the terms and conditions and privacy notice. You can also click onto that link, which will open up that separate URL for those terms and conditions. Once they've read that, they can obviously tick the box and click on to next before typing in their contact details and finally the purpose of the booking. Clicking on to next, if you've asked for any additional questions, which you've done during your setup, I'd added one here on insurance. They can obviously have to answer those before completing their inquiry. It will give them a message to say they've made that an inquiry and the bookings clerk will be in touch with them for further details. They can see that the status is an inquiry and that the payment status is outstanding. So that's dealing with an inquiry. Now going back to one of the other venues, the next one we're going to have a look at is provisional availability. So I'm going to use my exhibition hall for this. The process is exactly the same, but this time we're provisionally booking the actual venue. So again, choosing your start and end times. I don't have any attendees booked in on this one, so I've only got the start and end time to put forward. Again, confirming contact details. You must accept the terms and conditions before being allowed to move on. Type in the address details and the purpose of the booking, plus any other custom questions that may or may not have been added during setup. Again, you've made your inquiries. The booking clerk will be in touch with you for those further details. Booking status of provisional and the payment status of outstanding. So the final one that we get to look at is actually accepting payment as well. So I'm going to do that for my venue here of Champions Hall. Being asked to provisionally book and pay. So again, I can select my opening and closing times. This is £20 per hour. So if I have that for 2 hours, we've got the £40 coming up there. Clicking on to next, I can add in any of my additional services. And then again, being asked my customer details and email address with phone number. This one I'm going to pop in a customer code. So I'm going to have a discount rate in here of 20%. Still have to accept the terms and conditions. Clicking on to next, confirming those address details and the purpose of my booking. For this one, I have an additional question for use of the kitchen. And then finally being asked to confirm the credit card details for the booking. I've got here the booking details, so it's telling me my customer code. So I did have a price of £40, but that 20% discount has been applied. So it's reduced the booking itself to £32, and those additional services are on there as well. So if I pop in my contact details for that and complete that booking, I will then get the confirmation to come up to tell me that it has been successful. and I've provisionally booked and the payment was a success. Again, bookings clerk will still be in touch with details to confirm that, and I've got a booking status of provisional because the booking clerk still needs to confirm the details, even though the payment has been paid. So let's take a look at that on the actual booking system and see how that looks. Dealing with inquiry first, when we come to our list view for our inquiries, everything shows here in order of the last one that was booked first. So this is the one that we've just done, that Dayworth Hall for the 20th of June from 8 till 9 in the morning. Using the Actions button in the top right-hand corner and clearing your list settings, you will notice that it's always the most recent inquiry that comes to the top of the list, but you can, of course, still filter these by venue, by customer, by start date, by end date, etc. If you're happy with those inquiries, you've then got the 3 vertical dots on the right-hand side, and you can convert it to a booking. All the customer details will filter through. You can still apply a customer type if you wish to. If you've got those discounted types that you've set up within your setup and your fees, you can apply them here so that you can still add that discount on afterwards if it hasn't been done so already. If the customer in question has already got a discount applied to them, that will already show in this list. Booking times are showing here what's been agreed, any of the additional services. You've still got the ability to overwrite anything that you can see. So if you wanted to amend the price, you could do so here as well. Changing the status from provisional to confirmed will obviously send that automatic confirmation SMS message or email message back to your customer to tell them that it's gone from a status of inquiry to confirmed. Once we save that booking, it comes out of the inquiries and we can see it's now moved into my bookings. So I've got this one here with that status of confirmed and it still has that payment status of outstanding. You'll notice here I've got 2 further bookings. So we've got the exhibition hall that we just made on the website. So again, that status of provisional with a payment status of outstanding. And I've still got the one here for Champions Hall that's still provisional, but it's got that status of paid because it was paid online. Then, similar to the inquiry as we did above, any of your bookings that have come in with that status of provisional, you can come into and you can edit it, and you can again add any further information that you want to. So in order to confirm that, you update the status of provisional to confirmed. You can add in any customer notes that you want to. You can also add in any operational notes that will filter through to the caretaker's report. So if, for example, you needed them to set up X many chairs and tables, then you could add those in, which will filter through. And we'll take a look at that report in a moment. Once I save that, again, if I've set it up within my setup, that SMS message or that email message will automatically go out to the customer.